I'm not someone who scares easily. I've stayed home alone many times before. Nothing strange ever happened. But one night last fall still bothers me. My parents were away for the weekend. I had the house to myself. It was a normal night. I ordered food, watched YouTube, played some games. It was around 2 a.m. I was wearing headphones. Then, for no reason, I took them off. And that's when I heard it, a soft knock. At first, I ignored it. I thought it was just the house. Pipes, wood, something like that. Then I heard it again. Same sound. This time I was sure it came from downstairs. I stayed still and listened. Silence. Then another knock, a little louder. Now I was focused. It didn't sound random. It sounded deliberate, like someone tapping on wood. I stood up and walked to my door. I opened it just a little. The hallway was dark. I listened for maybe 20 seconds. Nothing. I almost convinced myself it was nothing. Then I heard it again. But this time, closer, not downstairs anymore. Somewhere in the hallway. I shut the door and locked it. My heart started beating fast. I grabbed my phone and texted my friend. "Are you awake?" He replied right away. I said, "I think someone is in my house." He thought I was joking. I wasn't. I sat there, staring at my door. Then I heard something else. Not a knock, a step, very quiet. But inside the house. At that point, I really thought someone got in. Even though everything was locked, I decided to check. Looking back, that was a bad idea. I turned on my phone flashlight and slowly opened the door. The hallway was empty. I stepped out. My hands were shaking. I walked toward the stairs. Looked down. The kitchen was dark. Nothing moved. Then I heard something behind me. A door. I turned around fast. My bedroom door was slowly closing. I know I left it open. I walked back and pushed it open. Everything looked normal, but something felt off. Then I noticed it. My chair. It wasn't where I left it. It was pulled back a little, facing the door. I froze. I knew I didn't move it. At that point, I stopped thinking. I walked out, went downstairs, grabbed my keys, and left the house. I stood outside for a while before calling the police. When they came, they checked everything. All doors locked. Windows closed. No sign of anyone. What? They told me maybe I imagined it. Or forgot something. I didn't argue. I went back inside. But I didn't go upstairs that night. I slept on the couch. I barely slept. The next morning, when it was light, I went back to my room. And that's when it felt worse. My keyboard was slightly moved, and my phone cable was unplugged. I clearly remember leaving it connected. One more thing still bothers me. The inside of my door handle had small scratches, like someone tried to open it while I was inside. I can't prove anyone was there. But after that night, I always double-check my doors. And I don't like staying there alone anymore. This happened when I was working a late delivery shift. I used to do food delivery on weekends. Nothing unusual ever happened. Until one night last winter. It was around 11:40 p.m. I got an order going a bit outside the city. I didn't think much of it. It paid well. The address led me to a quiet residential area. No streetlights, no people outside. Just houses and darkness. I remember checking the app again to make sure I had the right place. Everything matched. I parked in front of the house. It looked normal at first. Single story, lights off. Except for one thing. The front door was slightly open. Not wide. Just enough to notice. I sat in my car for a few seconds. I thought maybe someone was waiting for the delivery. So I grabbed the food and walked up. As I got closer, I realized how quiet it was. No TV, no voices, nothing. I knocked on the door. No answer. I waited. Still nothing. Then I pushed the door just a little. Hello? No response. At that point, I should have just left. But I didn't. I stepped inside. The air felt off, like the house had been closed for a long time. I looked around. Living room, empty, no lights on. I took a few steps in. Delivery? That's when I heard it, a sound from deeper inside the house, a soft dragging noise, like something being pulled across the floor. I froze. It stopped. Complete silence again. I backed up toward the door. But before I could leave, I heard it again, closer this time, slow, dragging. I turned my flashlight on, pointed it down the hallway. Nothing, just darkness. Then I noticed something on the floor, a phone lying in the middle of the hallway. The screen was on. I walked closer without thinking, and I wish I didn't. It was the delivery app, the same order I had just accepted. But it was open on that phone, like someone inside the house had placed it. At that exact moment, I heard a door behind me. I turned around. The front door, it moved, just a little, like someone had touched it. I didn't think anymore. I ran. I got out of the house, got into my car, and locked the doors. I just sat there, breathing hard. I didn't drive away right away. I don't know why. Maybe I was in shock. Then I looked back at the house, and I saw something. Movement. Inside, behind the window, a figure, standing still, watching. I couldn't see the face, just the shape. I left immediately. I reported it through the app. They told me to cancel the order. No explanation, no follow-up. A few days later, I checked the address again. Out of curiosity. The house wasn't listed anymore. No one answered when I tried to look it up. And the weirdest part, the order history disappeared, like it never existed. I still do deliveries sometimes. But if I see an address outside the city, late at night, I don't accept it anymore.